gonna get to the shop, and I think I got a tune there. So let's tune a hot rod and get back in our groove. All right, let's go. All right, guys, I just got back to the shop. Gonna work on making this thing idle a little clearer real quick. It has this idle screw right down here. All right, let's check this out. Yeah, that's decent. So something like this hot rod doesn't have an idle motor on it. So you kind of gotta find it with this little adjusting screw. No big deal. Jam nut that in. Now the only pain about this is there's still no warm-up enrichment or no warm-up high idle, so you have to kind of use your leg to do that. So part of hot rodding, right? All right, this thing's ready to rock again. You should be by today to pick this thing up. It's kind of nice getting off the flight, getting all these little things buttoned up and go. I got a little 4-door here right now that I need to get a tune on and then go home and edit a video. So show you guys what was up at FL2K. I almost said World Cup because I've had World Cup on my mind. All right, let's do this. And if you don't know, now you know. All right, so we're changing the plugs out. We're gonna go ahead and sink this thing. And I'm gonna make a couple rips and figure out where everything is. It looks like it's just a little B18C with a 35R cast manifold, external boost controller, and rod piston setup with DevCon. He's hoping for around 500 horsepower, and I'll see how it acts, see if we can get there or not. But for right now, Shane and I are just gonna set this thing up. He just put a Dragonfire distributor on it, and we're gonna see how it does. So let's get busy. All right, let's do a baseline on this little hot rod and see how it does. All right, so I drove this thing for a little bit. Watch this. And I may need engine mount, so I need to hold off for a second here and check things out. That engine moved a lot, way too much. It's got a torque mount. It's got for a back mount here. That bolt seems to be in. It's missing the T-bracket bolts. So we're gonna have to take a look at it real quick. Sheesh. This back in here is what I'm talking about. Now, yes, all these wires need zip tied up or just moved. But yeah, there's one bolt hole and that bolt hole. So that's the whole T-bracket, and that's what keeps the engine from moving around a bunch. It should have this bracket on too, or you can possibly break that mount like I've seen in other videos of ours. But we definitely have to start there. This one's not as important, but still kind of important. He does have one over there, but there's only one bolt in that bracket too. So I need to kind of solve these real quick, and then I can move forward. So I rest the pry bar on my wrist right here, or on my forearm. And then I have the pry bar kind of stuffed up here in the corner, right there. And I'm giving this a little push, just lining my bolts up here. Now it's gonna need a little extension and a wobbly. Now that I got both bolts in, lastly I'm going to get a wrench out. I'm just going to push on them with a wrench, make sure it feels okay, and then move forward from there. Let's check everything else while we're right here too. We got enough going on, we don't need any problems. So this downpipe, he wants 500 horse, but you can see here, this is just like a bent tubing from like an exhaust shop, so it necks down, so it's like 2.5 here, and by the time you're in here it's about 2.25, and then it comes back to 2.5. So we do have a little restrictor right here. We'll have to keep that in mind too, because we don't want to create heat. And then also this little oil drain right here, it's got a little kink right here, so this kind of part of the hose, so this part of the hose right here you can see is like flat, so it's something we need to keep in mind for smoking and things like that, etc. So alright, let's continue on and then zip tie up all this loose stuff under here. Alright, a little bite on that one there. Oh, that one's super tight. And then he was worried about an oil leak, and it looks like we have a leak here and from this plug here. Kind of see it all right there. So there's your oil leak, and yeah, probably later just get, this should have an aluminum seal, and this probably needs some Teflon. So those are probably what's up with those. Alright, now that I got the mount fixed on this thing, we're back into it, and now it's time to make that baseline pull and see where this thing's at, and we're gonna go from there. So let's see how much power it makes with the initial map I just set up. So alright, so it looks like we have a problem with Vtec. As you saw, when I would come up and it would hit Vtec, it'd go flat. And then what I did was I shut Vtec off, and it wanted to pull all the way through. So this is the Vtec solenoid here, and we're gonna have to just check this wiring out here. It hits an instant rev limiter and stops going. So we need to solve that before we can go anywhere. And I'm thinking the ECU's back here somewhere. We'll disconnect this battery, move some of the stuff out, and then I'll dive in. Alright, so I moved this all out of the way, and it looks like it's just an aftermarket harness here. So we're gonna keep double checking things, find out why this Vtec is shutting the car down. Thinking I might try a different box just real fast, and then from there I might have to get into the mechanics side of it and look at the solenoid or other things. Alright, so it looks like I'm gonna have to dive a little deeper into this Integra situation and figure out what's going on. Like I said, when I turned Vtec off, I started to make some power, but I turned Vtec back on and I got a rev limiter instantly. So there might be some electrical weirdness, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here for the night. But it gives us somewhere to start from. Just traveling this morning. I'm ready to get home and start cutting a video for you guys and chilling. So I'm gonna end it here for tonight and bring some cars in, head home, get back to work, and call that good. So, all right, guys, we'll call it there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, take care.